I'm with Richard David, who works for TCT based in Shanghai. Could you explain what TCT does and your role within the company?
Yeah, certainly. TCT, or Treasury China Trust, is actually a Singapore-listed company, but we operate predominantly in the commercial real estate sector in China, and in that respect we've got 80 people on the ground based in Shanghai, Qingdao and Beijing, owning and managing commercial real estate.
Okay. So how has the Chinese property market performed compared to other regional markets, in particular the commercial real estate markets?
Yeah, well, certainly over the course of the last 12 to 18 months, there's been a lot of interest and speculation in the health of the residential property market in China, in which there's been some suggestion there's a bubble. That's quite distinct from the commercial property markets, which continue to operate very strongly. The office market certainly suffered a bit of a downturn through 2009, as you saw many global companies rethinking their strategies and perhaps not expanding their office space, or even in some cases taking the opportunity to leave the market. What we've seen in the early part of 2010, of course, is a rebound in the office sector, particularly in Shanghai, as those same global companies have now realised that Asia is a platform for expansion. So they're now back in the market for office space. The retail sector, however, has maintained its strength right throughout the global downturn, and that's largely attributable to the ongoing strength and emergence of the Chinese consumer. So the retail property markets in China, particularly large-scale shopping malls, have witnessed strong resurgence in tenants, particularly overseas tenants looking to tap into China consumer demand, but you're also seeing local Chinese companies looking to take their place on the world stage.
Okay, so how do you think this market development will benefit TCT in the longer term?
I think from TCT's perspective, we intend to maintain a very strong focus on commercial real estate, and particularly in China. So in that respect, particularly when it's combined with our very strong on-the-ground asset management team, that gives us significant leverage over participants who perhaps have not considered entering the market yet. But more importantly, commercial real estate in China, unlike a lot of other locations, still remains relatively immature. China has only recently approved the investment by local institutions and pension funds into commercial real estate. Now that's quite distinct from mature markets, say London, New York, parts of Europe, where you have very strong institutional investment, where you see a lot of pension funds taking prime positions in key commercial space for long-dated returns. In China, that's yet to happen. So a company like TCT, we've certainly got a very strong first mover advantage. We've been in the market now for over 3 years. We own 10 billion RMB of commercial real estate, 250,000 square metres of income-producing office and retail properties, in addition to a pipeline of 150,000 square metres of office, retail and logistics properties currently under development in Shanghai and Beijing.
Okay, wow. So as an experienced Western property developer, what are some of the keys to success in China? You've obviously been successful there.
Yeah, I think it certainly comes down to what you would see in other markets where you were a foreigner in that market. And it basically comes down to patience and wanting to basically stay very exclusive to what you know. You've seen a lot of Western companies come into China in real estate, and irrespective of their home market experience, have typically got into residential real estate. Treasury Holdings stayed away from that given its 20-year history, very successful history in commercial real estate, and immediately invested in commercial real estate in China. So I think patience and sticking to your knitting, but also from our perspective, as I said, we've got 80 people on the ground and over 90% of those are locals. There's certainly no substitute for very strong local experience to give you that cultural and to break down those cultural and language barriers to participate in the market.